Hi guys and gals, it is I, Zombie Freak 21, and today I'm going to rant on Twilight and why it fails. Twilight, I really don't know how to describe this, but it is like one of the worst books that I've ever read in my entire life. And this is coming from a person who was formerly a fan of the book franchise for basically for only a week. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but let me just start by why it sucks so bad. For one, from what I've heard about this, the book was done within 6 months, which usually a regular book such as J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and Stephen King's books takes about 3 to 4 years to fully finish. So you could say from the book, it pretty much speaks itself because Stephenie Meyer, she put little to no effort in her work. It felt like it was rushed through. And it's obvious that she's somewhat illiterate because it felt like the book I was reading, it was made for, I don't know, a 5th or 6th grader. But besides the point, I want to get into how the book itself has screwed up the vampire franchise. Because first of all, vampires do not fucking sparkle when they're in the sun. They die. If they do somewhat sparkle, that's because they're about to burst into flames. And of course, vampires, they don't exactly feel. They just kill to survive, and they show little sympathy for humankind. And of course, Twilight is the complete fucking opposite, because of course it's about this love story of Edward trying to get hit on a 17-year-old girl. And he's like, what, over 100 years old? That's another thing. Why couldn't he just go off with some older woman? That's another thing that kind of bugs me about it. But I'm going a little ahead, but let me get into Bella's character, though. Bella, I could say she is the most annoying prick in the book. It's like this girl doesn't have a mind of her own. Even the character from the movie, what's her name? Kristen Stewart? Good God, this girl has like no personality. She looked like a zombie throughout the entire film because she had the same neutral expression. And don't get me wrong, I kind of do this too, but only when I'm tired. But that's the thing. Her facial expression always stays the same. It's like she's a robot or something. And it seems that she can't make her own decisions. She will have to get permission from her vampire boyfriend. But that's the other problem I have with the book. All from the book, it constantly does is talk about Edward over and over again. It's just the book is kind of pointless. Feels like it was sucking the life out of me as I read it, as well as me seeing the film, which is the last time I'll see it. But it's just that Twilight, it makes the vampires look gay, and I'd rather watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Blade, and Alucard from Hellsing. They're more truer vampires than Edward and the Cones can ever be. But it's not just the vampire era they messed up. They even messed up the werewolf franchise as well. Because from the New Moon, of course, New Moon, the only time they transform into a werewolf, of course, they get mad. Which, of course, again, it's stupid. Because werewolves, they change when there's a full moon out. And and not to mention even from the film, I didn't see that one, thank God. But I saw the clips, and they don't look like werewolves at all. They just look like plain giant wolves. That's another thing. And speaking of the werewolf in the film, Jacob, I have to give them somewhat credit. He's somewhat of a decent character, but I hate that Bella keeps messing with him. because it's like she's purposely pulling his strings. That's another reason why I hate about Bella. She's also a manipulator. It's like she can't seem to make up her damn mind. And from the book, she basically tries to kill. Since Edward left, she wanted to kill herself, just to kill over. Because she desperate. Because of course in the book as well as the film, she desperately wants to be a vampire. And I don't know, but this book is utter shit. Because Meyer, she only, I can tell you this, since the book was done for 6 months, it was only done for profit. She didn't care about the quality, or she didn't even do it for the interest in writing. And you think that's why Stephen King had bashed her against her about the books and why they suck so bad? Even J.K. Rowling finds her work utterly ridiculous, because it doesn't fit to the true monsters throughout the history. Because Harry Potter, the only difference with Harry Potter, it's more of an adventure. And not to mention, of course, it has werewolves in it, but the only difference is she didn't butcher it up. She kept true to it, because one of the characters, of course, is a werewolf, and he does change it to a full moon, but not by getting angry. But all I can say is from Twilight, I have friends that are into Twilight, but as I said, I don't care if anybody's into it, but it's just, I'll just never understand, because it's just random BS. The book, I read the books, and it just didn't make any sense. And I regret ever buying them. So hopefully if someone I know who wants the book so bad, I can give them away. Probably at least for only $10, because I'm not keeping them. So I'll make a part 2 about this on the Twilight fans, because from what I've heard from recent stories, because they're from the website that used to be up called TwilightSucks.com, it seems that the Twilight fans, they're pretty much more dangerous than the Jonas Brother fans themselves. That's just how bad they are. So I'll get into that part for the second part of the video. Until then, I'm Zombie Freak 21, and I'll see you next time.